Hey, Bianca, right after the victory, when you looked over at your Kev, you had this anguished look on your face. I'm not sure what you said. It sounded like it wasn't good enough for something, and only later.
When? After the match?
Right after. You looked at them with this anguished look on your face. Only later did you sort of sit down and smile and realize. Do you remember that? Do you remember what you said to them?
I said, "Is this real life?" Twice. I couldn't really believe it at that moment, but then when I sat down, I just couldn't stop smiling. Like I can't now.
Bianca, you talked about getting it together after you lost the first set. What specifically did you do to kind of turn things around in the match tonight?
I just told myself to keep fighting and hope that I can switch things around, basically. I tried to stay more aggressive than in the first set, and I felt like I was missing a lot in the first set as well. And I saw that she was picking on my backhand a lot, so I tried to go more down the line with my backhand so she can go back to my forehand so I can use my forehand because I like my forehand. So she executed some good tactics in the first set, but yeah, I just told myself to just keep fighting and to not give up. That was the main thing.
How would you describe the passion and hard work it took just to get your career going and now to get to this new level?
It took a lot of hard work. The passion's always there, though. Even through the tough times, I tried to stay as optimistic as I can. If someone told me that I was going to be in the semifinals of the U.S. Open a year ago, I would say you're crazy. So I'm just really proud of myself with how I dealt injury-wise while I was injured. I kept that passion going.
You mentioned that you played on many big stadiums, but New York and the Slam is all another kettle of fish. You also earlier in the year talked about this process, which sounded wonderful, about creative visualization and being very calm and taking the first half hour of a day and just being with yourself. Is that something you've kept up with? Do you do it here, and has it helped you?
Yeah, so I started meditating and visualizing ever since I was like 12 or 13 when my mom introduced it to me. And I know it wasn't such a big thing back then, but now it's getting more popular because I think if you can control your mind, then you can control a lot of things. And I think that's what's been working really well for me. I just kept doing that. And when I'm on the court in front of these big stages, I'm really good at just blocking everything and staying in the zone.
Just to that point, Bianca, how challenging were the conditions tonight? It felt stifling inside that stadium with the heat. How challenging was that for you?
Yeah, it was really, really humid. I was sweating after the first game. It's not easy, but it's something you can't really control. So I just used my towel every point because I was sweating like crazy. But I'm glad I didn't get too pissed at that.
Bianca, you're into the semifinals. I'm curious, do you think that you've played your best tennis to get to this stage of the tournament? And if the answer is no, what do you think that says about you?
You mean like throughout this tournament, if I played my best tennis? I'm going to be honest. I don't think I played my best tennis. I just fought really well with what I had every single day. I think that's the most important thing for me, and I'm sure for every athlete. You're not going to have good days every day, so I just try my best to figure out what's going well and what's not, and just go from there.
Bianca, you're in the first time in the main draw this tournament, and you said if someone told you a year ago you'd be in the semifinals, you wouldn't believe it. But I feel like if they told you 2 weeks ago, you'd probably nod and say it's not right. So where does now that we're only 2 rounds left, where do you think you're going to wind up at the end of this tournament?
At this point, I think anyone can win the tournament. The other semifinalists are incredible athletes and tennis players, so I know it's not going to be easy tomorrow, and if I win tomorrow in the finals as well. So I'm just going to take in this moment now. I think I play tomorrow, so hopefully I can do good things tomorrow.
You already won the Indian Wells and Canada tournament, big tournament. So I think you already proved that you are capable to win a big tournament, being a big stage. So why you are so shocked with being in the semifinal of US Open? It's very different, or?
Well, I mean, I think anyone would be shocked to be in the semifinals of a Grand Slam because all of us dream of this moment ever since we're kids, ever since we picked up a racket. So I definitely think that I've fought really hard to get to this point. So I think I do deserve to be here, and hopefully I can go all the way.
What's making you so good in these three setters? You've been doing quite well in them lately.
I'm just fighting really hard. It's not over till it's over. I've had many situations where I've come back from 5-0 down and won the match, and even vice versa. I was up 5-0 and then my opponents came back and won the match as well. So you never really know. So I just tried to play every point like it's the last.
You're 2 wins away from being Canada's first singles Grand Slam champion. Has that thought entered your mind, and what it would mean to you? Has that entered your mind at all?
What was the first part, sorry?
2 wins away from being the first Canadian singles Grand Slam champion. Has that entered your mind, that thought, and what it would mean to you?
No, that hasn't really entered my mind, but that would be pretty awesome. So if it happens, then I think I can pave way for many other athletes, the next generation, not only for Canadian tennis, but I think for many people.
Your popularity seems to grow by the day, and I know Steve Nash put something on Twitter earlier. What does that mean to you?
It's really cool having other Canadian athletes shout me out like that. I think it gives me extra motivation to just keep striving and keep doing well.
Congratulations first, Bianca. Just catching the historical weight of this moment. Do you have any estimation how many years ago was the first and only one beside you Canadian who reached the semifinal at the US Open? How many years ago?
Oh, I didn't know there was a pop quiz. Was it Patricia He? Oh, shoot. I need to learn my history.
110.
Pardon?
110 years ago. Exactly
110
years ago. Loa Moye.
Wow.
It's close to your...
1984. Carling Bassett.
No, the first time.
Oh, the first time?
I mean, the first attempt got the...
Can we get to the question?
We're getting contradictions.
This isn't Jeopardy.
Okay.
So, any information about this lady, Loa Moye? She was born in Bedford Park, I mean, close place to your birthplace in Toronto. So, she's a Hall of Famer in Canada. Do you have any information about her?
Well, I've heard her name many times before. I've never watched her play, though, but what she did was incredible. So I'm glad that I can follow in her footsteps.
They showed your mom on the screen a lot during the match today. She had her dog, had her sunglasses, had an awesome outfit. And I felt like I got to know more of where you got your swag from. Is that fair?
Oh, man, she's going to love what you said if I show her this. Yeah, my mom's honestly the coolest person I know. And she's my role model. I've looked up to her ever since I was little. So, yeah, it's just awesome to have her support and just to have not only her support but my whole entire family's support. Yeah, it's just great. But I'll definitely tell her that.
Did you get the confidence from her, particularly the confidence side?
Yeah, I think so.
You play next, player you haven't played yet. But what have you seen from Belinda, and what are your impressions of what's most challenging about her game?
I practiced with her once, actually, in Toronto. I found that she takes the ball really early. She likes to be very aggressive. She has a very good serve. She moves pretty well, too. So I'm going to do my best to just focus on myself mainly and just keep doing what I'm doing because I think my game's throwing off a lot of players.
A lot of great players have backstories of their families coming to North America with very, very little, and it was mentioned that your parents came to Canada just with 2 suitcases. Could you just take a moment and talk a little bit about the backstory there and what was involved in their coming to Canada?
Yeah, so I think they immigrated in 1995, and back then Romania was having problems with Ceausescu, so they wanted to just have a better life, so they came into Canada. Canada was very welcoming with immigrants, so I think they made the right decision because without Tennis Canada's support, I don't think I would have been here today.
So they were not stopped at the border?
Oh, I have no idea. No, I don't know. They didn't. I don't think so.